Okay, in this lesson today, we're going to talk about how to recreate your desk tidy in Tinkercad. Now, you'll see here this is a student's work, and they've created it really accurately in Tinkercad. They've done everything to the correct size, and they've incorporated their other features from their designs. So let's have a chat now on how to get started with that. So what you'll need to look at first is you'll need to go into your OneNote, and you'll see a page like this. This page has all the dimensions on that you'll need for designing your base and your drawer. So you can see here, it's 150 millimeters across this way, 150 this way. It's got the thicknesses of the MDF and everything you need on here. So you just need to have a bit of a look to see how to find the correct sizes for things. So let's get started and let's show you how we get started. So the first thing I need to do is I need to just draw the base. So let me go into a new window. So here I am in a new window, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by quite simply drawing the base. Now I know from completing this project that the base is 150 by 150. So dead simple, 150 by 150. And that was the MDF piece. And that MDF piece was 3 millimeters thick, like so. Okay, and what you'll notice is that takes quite a lot of space on this current grid. So what you'll need to do is you need to edit the grid, and if you just put a 5 on here, that will then give you a grid that is almost double in size. Okay, there we go. So plenty of space to start designing now. Okay, so now I'm going to design the side pieces, so the pieces which were the lap joints. So to do that, I'm just going to drag in the pieces here like that, and I'm going to go to the top view, and I'm going to go to flat. Okay, so it's like that. So I know from memory, I'm just going to check on my drawing that the timber is 20 millimeters in thickness and it's 150 millimeters in length. So to do that, I'm just going to get one of these and I'm going to go, okay, the length is going to be 150, the width is going to be 20, and the height is going to be 50. Okay, because again, if we look at my drawing on here, you can see that the height is 50. So it's really important to cross-reference this when you are designing your part. So back into Tinkercad, I'm just going to move this base out of the way for the time being because we don't need that just yet. I'm going to change this to brown so I can see it's like kind of like a wood color. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate it by 90 degrees. So like so. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this and I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, so duplicate it and I'm going to move it down with the arrow key like that. So, okay, and then this one I'm also going to now rotate by 90 degrees. Easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this and put this onto here. Okay, and I want to align these two together. So that's my base. Change that to a dark color, I think. There you go. That's my base. This is my side. So to align it, I'm going to drag it on top, line it up pretty much. But remember what I can do with this. I can click and highlight this, and I can use the align tool, and I can get it in the center. And I can also line it to the back by clicking that one. So if that was slightly above there, and I did that, and I pressed align, I could click this and that means now that it's lined at the back, it's lined in the center. So that's really useful for what I want to do next. Now what I want to do is I want to create the cutout for the lap joint. So to do that, I'm just going to duplicate this. So I've got a second one. And then I'm going to use this one to take away the lap joint. So it needs to be halfway. Okay. But what you can do is you can align everything to the grid. So let's do that first. So I'm going to turn on the grid to 5. I'll make it brick actually. This now jumps out into the bricks. Actually, we'll turn that off because it'll be easier. Um, and just align it again like that. So that and that. I'll select that and that align to the center. Okay. So to cut this lap joint out, I'm going to do it by eye. It's just as accurate. So put it like that. Okay, and I'm going to highlight those two together and press the align tool, and I'll align it to there. But this time I'm going to move it down just a little bit because I kind of want it halfway, like so. Perfect. But it's not quite in line, so I'm just going to zoom in onto here and just make sure it's aligned there. Okay, and then what I can do is I can then just drag this up to make it so it's in line with that. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy that, turn it to this one first. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to move it across to this side. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hold down Shift, click that one, and that one. And then I'm going to click that to take it away. And what you'll see is when it eventually renders, it's just taking a bit of time because the computers are slow. It leaves me with the lap joint like that. And then what I can do is I can just get this one and duplicate it, and I can move it so it fits into the right place. So there we go, like that, and then I can move it up like that. That's correct. And then also on this side as well. As long as it aligns with the base and aligns with the front, a little bit of inaccuracy there should be just fine. So we can always zoom in. Let's have a look how, zoom into there. And you can see I'm just a few millimeters off, so I just click that, and if I just tap it, okay, I can change the grid. So 0.25, and now we're perfect. And then same on the other side. Zoom in. I think this one is there. Okay. So there we go. We can see now if I go into the isometric view, I can see I've got my base. But there is one slight thing I need to change. I need to remember that I need to move it 3 millimeters up because that is the thickness of the pine, of the base. So again, all these pieces just need to be moved up by 3 millimeters. So you can time by 3. Like that, and you can spin around. Same thing here. Move that up by 3. Okay, and then if we just go to the top, and just check that everything else is aligned correctly. That back is still hanging over a little bit, so I just need to get that and just move it in a little bit. So you can see there, it's going to affect that joint, but it's fine. Okay, so that's that bit like that. So that's that. What I can do now, once I'm happy with that, is I can select it all and I can group it all. If you wanted the easy way to do that, you could just create the separate blocks, 3 separate blocks to illustrate that as a section. So that's how you get started. The rest you should be able to just follow the tutorials. What you can also do, which is really important to understand, is let's say I go into Tinkercad here. If I have, for example, my 3D printer part in a different part of the project, what I can do is I can quite simply copy and paste that in from a different section. So let's say I want this, and I want to bring it into my current workspace. The easiest thing to do it is if you just highlight it all, you right click, or press Control and C, go back into your Tinkercad, and as you can see now, I press Control and V, and that's appeared in here. So delete it, Control V, it's appeared in. Remember when you're using this, please make sure that you follow all the dimensions to make sure you draw it to the correct scale.